Good morning! Happy Memorial Day! It's the Monday morning cup of coffee. I'm Tommy. Let's start our Memorial Day with a sip, shall we? New coffee cup courtesy of James Marks. Thank you very much. Now, I can't show you the effect, but when the cup is cold, the eyes are very sleepy looking and half closed, and as it fills with hot coffee or any hot liquid, then the eyes become bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. There is very nice. Also, I want to correct a couple of the cups I attributed to the wrong people last week, and one whose identity I've ascertained. The toilet bowl coffee cup came from Ken Brown, and the I can't blankety blank believe I'm 50 cup did not come from Lisa Gray. It came from Matt Bird. So there we go. All is right in the coffee cup world now. Want to make a mention on Memorial Day to my two brothers who both served. My middle brother, the adorably conservative Christian right-wing Republican straight white American male, Jerry Womack, served in the U.S. Navy. He was a navigator in jets, and he was on the USS Kitty Hawk when a Soviet sub tried to surface underneath the aircraft carrier. It caused a big to-do and no doubt a serious bump inside the submarine, like, what the hell was that? In Russian, of course. And my oldest brother, the late Carlton Wayman Womack, also known as Wayman, because in Arkansas you use the middle name. My father, James Carson Womack, was named Carson. My grandfather, Robert Clow Waters, was called Clow. And I don't remember Levon Helms' first name, but Levon is his middle name. I don't know why they do that in Arkansas, but they do. If I had been raised in Arkansas, I'm sure I would have been known as Glenn, because that's my middle name. Glenn with a Y and two N's. So Wayman served in the United States Air Force for better part of 30 years, I believe. He was stationed all over the world, including for a time in the early 70s in Thailand, officially Thailand, but he was a mechanic, and they were flying him into Vietnam and dropping him at where downed choppers were. And he was part of a crew that fixed the chopper so that it could fly away. And if they fixed it, they could fly away. If they didn't fix it, problem. And we never knew about that until he got back home and shared with us. We thought he was just in Thailand, smoking opium and visiting hookers. That's what we figured, but shows what we knew. Anyway, happy Memorial Day, and I send a shout out to my living brother and my late brother. What's next on the list? Oklahoma. God bless the Oklahomans that found themselves unfortunate enough to be in the path of that tornado. I recommended earlier this week on my Facebook page to go to the American Red Cross, and I gave the website for that. But I got a little static for that because apparently the Red Cross doesn't funnel all of the contributions onto the points where the relief is needed. I don't know the percentage of it. A couple of people were rather strident that it was not a very great percentage at all goes to the actual victims. I don't know. I don't know what the percentage is. I don't want to disparage the Red Cross. I know they've done a lot of good. But if you want to contribute to an organization that delivers 100% of the contributed monies to the victims of the relief, I recommend you go to umcor.org, United Methodist Committee on Relief. And you don't have to be a Methodist to send in money. You don't have to throw your head back and try to sing those songs with that impossible range that flummoxes me when I do go to church. UMCOR.org. 100% of your contribution goes to victims of disaster in need of relief. All the administrative costs of UMCOR are absorbed by the church, the main offices of the church. 100% of your contribution goes to the victims of relief. And you don't even have to believe in God to contribute to that organization. Going to be in Washington, D.C. and New York City in a couple of weeks. I'm excited. There is a chain, a two-establishment chain, started by Jesse Scott, called the Hill Country Barbecue, and they have music series called Hill Country Live. I'm going to be in Washington, D.C. on Tuesday, June 11th at the Hill Country Barbecue, and that is hillcountrywdc.com. And then Wednesday, June the 12th, I am going to be at the Hill Country Barbecue in New York City, and that is hillcountryny.com. I would appreciate it if you would tell your friends. They're kind of leaning on me a little bit to get people out and telling me to social network the snot out of it because they want people there. They're paying me money after all. I can certainly see their point. I'd rather there were people there too, to be honest. Gigs are so much more fun when there are people there. I know from experience. So that is Tuesday, June 11th in Washington, D.C., Wednesday, June 12th in New York City. I am taking the family with me. I am so excited about that. Thursday, June 14th, a house concert at K Varies, V-A-R-I, in Delaware. And I'm sorry, I don't really know the city in Delaware yet. K Vary, again, V-A-R-I, is on Facebook. You can look her up. And then there was a house concert back in Washington, D.C. again on the 15th at D. Ruth Thadani's house. That's D-H-I-R-U, second word, T-H-A-D-A-N-I. And I believe there is information on that gig already on TommyWomack.com. It may not, K-Vary might not be up there yet. House concert in just outside of Philadelphia on the 21st at Scott and Laura McClatchy's house, and I'm very excited about that. It'll be great to get back and have an authentic cheesesteak again and some tasty cakes. And then I'm headed up to a place I've never been before, Woodstock, New York, and Ross Rice, the immensely talented Ross Rice of Human Radio and Solo Records fame. If you've not heard of Ross before, imagine if Al Green and Todd Rundgren had a love child. That's kind of where Ross is coming from. Insane piano player, also a great drummer, great bass player, and an all-around great guy. We are going to be recording my next studio record in Woodstock. That will be like June 23rd through 25th. I looked through all my demos the other day and discovered to my pleasant surprise that I have an album. I didn't know that I had the songs for an album. I tend to write songs, record them, and then put them away so I can listen to them later on and be able to tell whether they're good or not. Because songs, when you first write them, they're like babies. They're all cute, and you love them all. And I've put out a few songs on records that were still cute and adorable when I recorded them, and now years later I listen to them and go, that song wasn't finished, or that song wasn't good at all. But these, all of them, some of them are 2-3 years old demos, and I listened to them and went, yeah. Those are 12 or 13 songs that hang together. I even have the sequence in mind already for the songs I'm going to do. So I'm very excited about that. The day job. Folks, thank you. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your connections to gigs. Thank you for your connections to freelance writing gigs. You got me out of my day job. Praise Jesus. I can't tell you how happy I am. After 15 years of working at Vanderbilt, I no longer work at Vanderbilt. I no longer have a day job. I am a writer, musician, and performer, and I'm not going back. My manager now, Bill Hutchison, says, "Man, Tommy, you have the most devoted fans I've ever seen." And I am blessed. I am blessed as heck. I think part of it may be that I'm so much an open book. Myself, I lay my soul bare without much of any shame. I personally think shame is for people who can afford it. And overrated other than that. And people feel welcome to bare their soul to me, and they do, and I am happy to do it. I keep confidences, and if you send me a long email, I'll send you an email back as long as I have time to write it, as long as time allows, shall we say. I've been blessed with many, many, many rewarding friendships because of this fan relationship I have. And whenever I need something, I post it on Facebook. I needed a job 4 years ago when I was briefly away from Vandy. I posted it on Facebook. I got a job. I needed a truck to haul junk away once, posted on Facebook, got a truck. I needed new speakers, posted, got speakers. I needed to get out of my day job. I'm out of my day job. Facebook rocks. You know what else rocks? Prayer. Because I have been praying for months, Jesus, get me out of this job. I'll do the work to get out of it. You just show me the avenue to do it. And then show me the avenues to success. Not praying for the success itself, because I'm already born and raised in the richest country in the world. I eat every day and eat well. I don't need any more blessings for success from God. He's got bigger fish to fry. Just show me the door, Lord, and He showed me the door. Now, that might be a little religious for some of you. Jesus works for me. He may not work for you. And that's okay. If Jesus doesn't work for you, does that mean you're going to hell? Hell no. There are so many ways to God, even if you don't want to call it God. Call it music, call it meditation, call it sex, call it golf, call it horticulture if you're into that. I mean, there's so many ways to tap into the spirit world. And religion is one of them. Religion gets such a bad rap. Which it frankly doesn't deserve. Flannery O'Connor called religion something for people too stupid to know right from wrong on their own. And she meant it disparagingly, but I say that's a bad thing. Most people are too stupid to know right from wrong. It's just a plain old fact. There are people that do the kind of jobs that, don't require an IQ of 185, and they don't think on intellectual levels. They are not introspective people and should not be penalized for the need to go to a church service once a week or every 2 weeks or so often and be reminded what right and wrong is. Now, there are a lot of bad religious practices, people preaching homophobia, racism. It does happen, but an overwhelming majority of Christians do not picket funerals with "God hates fags" posters, and an overwhelming majority of Muslims do not blow themselves up in public places. Nobody reports on the planes that don't crash. Nobody reports on the soup kitchens, the homeless shelters, the mission trips to dig freshwater wells in rural Mexico. Nobody reports on those, but it happens. And another thing that I see all the time in comments on Facebook or on news stories, people say religion has been the cause of more wars and more bloodshed than any other factor in the history of mankind. That is patently untrue. Lust for conquest, racism, and plain old despotism has been far more deadly and destructive to mankind than religion ever has been. That's my spiel. Prayer works if you want to go that way, I believe. Here's a bit of big news. I'm opening for Todd Snyder. I'm opening for Todd Snyder for the first time in many years, July 29th in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania. So I hope you can make it to that. Again, Washington, D.C., June 11th. Come on out. Tell your friends. Hill Country Barbecue. New York City, June the 12th, Wednesday. Hill Country Barbecue. Tell your friends. Come out. If you want me to play a gig near you, email my manager, Bill Hutchison, at bhutchi@columbus.rr.com. I'll let you go now. This may set a record for the longest Monday morning cup of coffee, 16 minutes and 7 seconds. Don't let the bastards get you down. Thank you, James Marks, for the coffee cup. God bless you. You're worth it.